Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Wellness Wednesdays series. I'm not going to call it the last episode, even though it's entitled the finale. So that won't be the last of us at a race. This is Jacob talking to you, and with me today, our guest star. I'll let her introduce herself to you in a minute. And even though the topic is still Wellness Wednesday in awareness, the month of wellness, which was last month, and probably wondering why this episode is aired in June. I think our guest today can answer that too. So sorry, throwing all that on you, Sally. Well, without further ado, thank you, Sally, for joining me yet again today.
Thank you, Jacob, and hello, everyone, and welcome to On This Wednesdays. As Jacob said, we hope that this is the final episode, but we are thrilled to be here, and hopefully this will not be our last time to open up such a conversation and to empower everyone to take control of their own mental health.
Sure.
Would you like me to introduce myself, or?
Go ahead. Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm originally from the United Arab Emirates, and I've taken my time studying outside. And as part of my study program, I've gained valuable insights as I studied business administration. My experience abroad has also given me a unique experience and perspective, and a deep passion for making such a positive impact. And hopefully, this can be shown throughout what we have taken part in during the month of May.
Thank you, Sally. And, I have to say, still quite impressive what you have done with this. So, you've been with us for more than a month now, and you took on yourself this project of spreading the awareness of, mental health during the whole month of May. And here we are a month after that, we're still going on. So if I may ask you to take us through this journey, for me, it was nothing but impressive. But I want to hear from your perspective if you take us through this journey, Sally. So
yes, of course. Let's showcase, let's say, our journey for the month of May. Well, in the month of May, we did prioritize our mental health, and we did focus on the initiative centered around it. And let's give a quick recap of what we accomplished. So first, what we did is we thought of creating this podcast, Wellness Wednesdays, which consisted of 5 episodes, which may be too little, as we thought of it as being a mini podcast. And we did explore different aspects of mental health, with gaining and providing valuable insights from our guests to our listeners, which aimed at raising awareness.
Right.
Second, we did do a live talk discussion, which was a part of our initiative. We organized a special live talk discussion that delved into the importance of mental health stigmas and misconceptions. And we did feature an open and honest conversation to promote a better understanding with our esteemed guests during that talk. And we also did a workshop towards the end of the month, which was an interactive session aimed to provide some practical tools for managing our well-being. And we hope that our participants were encouraged to actively engage in such activity and discussion, which does foster a supportive environment, I would say. And throughout all this, we did have some social media posts And we also uploaded some blog posts
Hmm.
during May, which explored various topics of mental health. Some of them delved deeper into the workshop, some of them mental health in general with insightful perspectives. And it was a resource for our audience to seek this information, I would say.
Yeah.
And lastly, as a teaser, um, there are going to be some posts that are going to recap and summarize the key insights, or let's say takeaways and quotes from our podcast episodes and discussions, as well as the workshop. And perhaps this will be a helpful way for those who may have missed some and would like to have uh, a previous content, rather than going through it, they could read what we have posted, or they just
Yeah.
want a quick refresher, I would say. So as you see, we hope that our focus on mental health involved like creating information and engaging content through the series, podcast series, through the discussion, through the practical workshop, as well as the blog posts. And I would say that, let's say we did dedicate some significant effort to raising awareness and providing support
Yeah.
for mental health.
Well, if I look, so yeah, I've got 2 points here. Number one, I love with you kept saying we, and that is so kind of you. But I have to highlight that initially was your idea, and then you led all that. You led all these ideas all the way through till they came to light, and we eventually, yeah, did them together. But that's so kind of you. But I have to highlight that all what you have just mentioned was initiated and led by you. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Jacob.
And then, so for this one, this episode being in the following month, so it's not in May. It's related to mental health week month. However, it's in the following month. What does that say?
What does that say? Well, I would say this episode could just show how a journey can, let's say, like, in a journey you can gain some like deeper understanding. And I would
Hmm.
say having this in June by the end is like a recap to what we've done. So after we mentioned the recap of what I've done for the month of May, there has to
Yeah.
be some story to the journey. There has to be, what did we learn? What was the opportunity? What did we gain? And what matters.
Right.
So, okay, first I would like to ask you, Jacob, what was your personal journey with this? Not as a recap, but as your journey with this initiative. With what did you gain from it? Did you learn anything? What was something valuable that you discovered, or let's say, what mattered to you?
Right. So right from the beginning when you came up with the topic, so I was aware of it, but not to the extent that you mentioned things like, I don't know, stigma, for example, and how to deal with it, and how we need to have um, live talks about it. So to a certain extent, yeah, I was aware of it, but then from the scoop that you presented, all that for me, that was quite. I wouldn't say surprising, but it was quite a learning um, discovery by itself, going through all the events and attending the events, talking to some guests. So it is an eye opening, and this always tells me that learning doesn't stop. So we might be aware of something, but then we look at it from a different perspective, and we learn a lot of things from that perspective. Um, I like when you brought to our attention the sweet and sour. So the idea of it, yeah, we hear it a lot. Okay, count your blessings. Think about, but the way it's being presented, sweet and sour, and they think, oh, okay, that gives it another dimension in a way. So I would say my biggest takeaway is this sweet and sour with these terms, to keep it always, thinking about it, day in day out, or whenever I face a situation, or let's say a rough day, and then it's always good to think about the sweet and sour.
And this is not only for not the best day, because we need to also take a look at the sweet as much as we take a look at the sour. Yes, the
Mhm.
sour has more effect on us. I think it's triple. I'm not sure than of the sweet. However, making sure that we do acknowledge and, like, let's say, truly see our sweet in order for us to be. It will be easier for us to overcome the sour.
True.
So it's also the good times, good days, the sweet, not only the sours. But we not need to forget the sours.
Yeah, and it adds this. When you think of sour as a taste, it's not always. It doesn't always have to be something bad. So a little bit of sour could be sometimes. If you think about food, a little bit of sour sometimes think, oh, that gives it kind of an exquisite taste. So this what I mean. The way it's being presented with these terms gives it
Mm,
that dimension of thinking about it from. So the sour, yeah, why not? A bit of sweet and sour, yeah, that would be nice.
that's true.
Right. So if we are so now, let's think forward from here on. What do you think we should take into considerations to keep this state of mental health and well-being?
Okay, so number one, the sweet and sour.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, because it keeps us more. Because sometimes the emotional intelligence. We need
Yeah,
to acknowledge our feelings in order for us to maintain and get a true meaning to how we're feeling. So if
yeah,
we get to know our sweet and sour, we could delve deeper into our sweets and into our sours to get a deeper understanding on that, and then have to, let's say, maintain or like, help us figure it out, let's say.
okay,
So that's one. And one other thing is, perhaps we could make sure people are still in terms with being open with the topic. Like, let's say, as the blog post, one of the blog posts were, how are you truly feeling?
hmm,
Not everyone answered this question as honest as they could be. Yes, in some situations, it depends on situations. However, if we were more open about it, then people would fully understand, because we're all put in situations where sometimes we may feel like we're not up to for them in that moment. And as we said in a previous episode before, there are some levels and intensities of different emotions and feelings, and whether we're up to doing, let's say, attending a meeting.
right,
So we need to understand that and be put up to it, to know whether we're able to, let's say, attend the meeting.
right,
So by just answering how are you truly feeling, that way, if you answer it truly, you're also being true to yourself. Because the more we not actually say the truth, the more we believe it, and that's not good. That's not good. But however, to an extent, it may harm you.
yeah,
You know what they when they say fake it till you make it.
yep,
There's a good level to it, but also there is a bad level, because sometimes you miss some aspects of
true.
of the it.
Now every time I ask someone, or I type or text, how are you? I'm always thinking, okay, do I need to add truly? Which is, I think, another major takeaway
Yeah.
from what I've learned from you, to be honest. So yeah, it's but maybe sometimes it's good to add this bit truly, and that
Yeah,
will help us. Yeah,
or also we could add to it, like ask first, how are you? And then again, depending on the response you get, you could ask, how are you really feeling, or how are you truly feeling? Again,
right.
to emphasize the the feeling, to emphasize the openness, let's say.
True, true, and I hope this will become a normal practice among um, be- in families, at work, um, schools, and so on. So yeah, add sometimes add this bit truly, and hopefully that will help people open. And then sometimes when you talk, it's a good and great step, you know, by itself. This openness and talking.
And it is needed sometimes.
It is. It is. Yeah. Right. So the finale then, Sally. We um, before time is up. So, what is the one message you would like to leave us with?
I would like to say that mental health is a journey, and each one of us has a different experience, and let's say different takeaways, which are pretty unique. And my greatest hope, I would say, is that someone somewhere was able to find some inspiration, or let's say a new perspective
Hmm.
during this month. And even if it was just one person who felt understood or even empowered, it would make this journey worthwhile, I would say. And let's continue to spread awareness, encourage these conversations, and prioritizing mental health. Not just this month. Like, I would say we could, as you said, how we can keep going with this. Well,
Yeah.
there are many days in a year, in a month. We
Hmm.
could all, grow together, support one another in this lifelong journey, let's say.
Well, again, it's really great, to be introduced to this, like all the events actually, and hopefully it will be um, a life learning process and for all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard our guest star, Sally. Sally. So, how are you truly? How are you, families, friends, colleagues, truly? So, something we can always ask. And then I'll leave you with that, what Sally said. Wishing you, as always, a Wellness Wednesday, a wellness this week, the month, the year, and all your life. Thank you, Sally, again. I can't thank you enough, really. I'm absolutely happy to have gone through this journey together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob.
All right, so I think we say goodbye or see you later to the audience.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully, it is
Uh,
to see you later. Not a
okay.
goodbye.
Yeah. All right then.